Welcome to the Argue Your Point podcast. Here are your hosts, Jeff Mitri and Mason Mitri.
All right. Okay, let's do this. Episode, what are we at?
Episode 22.
Yeah. Okay, we got a good day here. We got essential question. Should reporters be able to ask players who have injuries? So I don't know. What do you think about that? Just fully. We'll get into that later. I don't know, but divided. We'll also get into why Sabres fans are super divided on debate.
Mm-hmm.
The media. Then we're getting into Sabres Canadiens Round 2 Game 4 impact
Recap.
Including the intensity of the series, atmosphere around Buffalo hockey right now, and whether his team is starting to look like they're taking over the series.
Mm-hmm.
Over in the NBA, we'll break down Knicks 4-0 sweep of the Sixers, Philly firing the GM, and the debate who would be more dangerous, who the Knicks would rather not play. Talking about Mike
Between
Dana,
who?
Between the Cavs and Pistons.
Okay.
Talking about Mike Dana, and we'll have some PGA championship picks.
All right, sweet. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Today's episode due 22. And somehow we're going to fit in a special guest at some point. That was just slid in the last minute here.
No, it wasn't.
To my knowledge, this was
Monday.
to my knowledge, this was just slid in the last second here.
Talk about on Sunday.
22, episode 22. Please, before we begin, go on YouTube, do us all a favor, click Argue Point Podcast and subscribe. And then you'll know when we're putting out this content. You'll get notified. So it works both ways, It helps the show, and it delivers the content that you want as often as it's created. So that's my PSA on please go to YouTube and subscribe.
Yeah.
22. When I was in college, I took a lot of Italian classes, and I wasn't always the best student, especially in Italian. There wasn't any of this technology there is tonight. There was no Duolingo or any apps.
My 898-day streak.
There was none of that. So you just had to learn like kindergartens learned in Italy. So it's pretty difficult. And there was like 7 or 8 students in my class. And the way it would go is we would read sentences, and then it would, go down the line. We would sit in a circle, and then, the person before me, and then it'd be me, and be like, all right, Jeff. And one time, it was something simple. I knew how to count from 1 to 10, but I didn't know how to count from 11 to 20 in Italian. I do now, but I didn't then. And so it got to me, and it got to the number 22, the name of this episode. And, a lot of times I would just be like, I don't know. I just don't know the answer. But this time I was just like, it was 22. So I just said equivalent to 2. I just said due. And one of the kids in my class, oh man, he was laughing. And then after class, when it was all done, he looks at me, he's like, due. And he turns around and laughs and walks away. I miss that kid. I'm not even sure what his name is. He gave me his Syracuse hat once. But yeah. Due. I know what 22 is now. It's 22, but that's what I came up with at the time. And here we are, episode 22. And yeah, the essential question, it sparked a lot of debate online in Buffalo. And that's, Paul Hamilton asked the question to Tage Thompson, and I'll paraphrase, I don't know the exact quote, but he said, are you nursing some kind of injury? Are you injured? And to me, as a journalist, as also a fan of a journalist, someone who's been in media scrums, not to the extent, anywhere near the extent of Paul Hamilton, but, you can ask that question. And And it's okay to ask the question. It's okay for Tage Thompson to answer the way he answered. It's perfectly fine. If he wanted to say it's none of your business, that's his answer. That's fine. If he wanted to say, no, I'm not, we all know that the players play with injuries because when the season's over, they all, the reports come out. Oh, he had
like Josh Allen. He had no one knew he had like a broken foot or thumb, whatever, until after the Denver game. No one knew that.
Right.
So I honestly think my take on that, I think it's fair that they can say no. Like some guys.
You can answer it with no or no comment or whatever. However you want to answer the question, you can answer the question. But asking the question is not wrong. Do you believe that's kind of the question? Is asking the question wrong to do that?
I'm gonna go. I don't think it's
that was
like
loud,
I'll do that again. See, I don't think it's like the greatest thing to ask someone if injured, but I also think that some people deserve to know.
Yeah, and so here, let me look at this thread.
The fantasy owners.
Yeah, it's called the Fantasy Dungeon.
The what?
The Fantasy Dungeon.
Oh yeah, didn't you get like last place last year?
No, I did not get in last place last year.
Second last.
Let's see here. Paul Hamilton asked the question, and they asked me to. Yeah, there we go. Let's see.
Okay. Find that yet?
Yeah. So, some people on this thread are saying that it shouldn't be asked. It shouldn't be asked. Let me see. Mitris hate all the reporters and radio personalities. I am surprised they aren't critical of PHAM for this reporting.
Okay. Person to go.
And I said I didn't see anything to criticize PHAM on this, which I don't. I tend to disagree with all Mitris on all walks of life. I'm just kind of going through these now. Whoa, I love most reporters. Paul is rattled. Whoa.
Okay, we're gonna put the brakes
Put
on the brakes on this.
Yeah.
What's your point?
At one point,
Sabres versus Canadiens round 2 game
all right, yeah,
4 recap.
We did put it. Hold on, before we get into that,
No,
just
no.
one last point to make, an argued point is Marbella shared a video from Matthew Beauvais who laid it out perfectly. Says you can ask the question, you can answer however you like. We all know they're playing through injuries. We all find out later, and there's really not a story here, in my opinion. It's just a question and an answer. The fact that people responded the way they did, I don't know why they did that, but I guess it's because he said none of your business, and they want to support the player. Yep. But okay, all right, we're done with that.
Okay, Sabres won game 4, 3-2. Tie a series 2-2. Now Benson got his game-winning power play on his 21st birthday.
Mm-hmm. And Mannix's birthday too. Yesterday, he got a playoff win for his birthday. That was cool. But yeah, he turned 21. He is continuing to be, like Newhook for Montreal. He's continuing to be the hardest player on the team. Him and Doan are definitely the hardest players on the team. And I can't believe that we actually got Doan for Peterka. That was such a good deal.
Just want to note here, Benson players to score and 21st birthday, Zach Benson, Oliver Moore, and Bobby Orr, March 29, 69.
That's cool.
Playoff birthday scorers since 1990. You got Zach Benson, David Bax, Ben Ferrerio, Steve Yzerman, Brandon Gilchrist, and Jerry Curry. These are 21st. They're just different. They're just playoff scores. But UPL. Can we talk about UPL real quick?
Yeah, he stepped up big time. He made some big saves, even though all the saves that he showed on ESPN were from Dobish. But yeah, let's talk about Luukkonen.
Now in that game, Montreal, he had 31 saves. Yeah, he had 31 saves, 9.35 save percentage in that game, and I think he's gonna be progress in these playoffs. I think he's gonna turn into a great player. So I'm excited for him. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think he deserved that start. He, like you can see what happened. He made that big mistake in Boston, and then had a bad game after that, and then Lyon stepped in and we started winning, and that's what Laney's going to do. He's going to roll with the hot hand. Then we had a string of games where Alex Lyon let in a lot of goals. Not all his fault, but it's just how the team played. They let in a lot of goals.
So it's a team game. That's it.
So yeah, it's a team game. So you switch the goaltenders because they're like a 1A, 1B. They're not starter backup.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of an easy decision. And I think he played really well. I think he'll probably get the start tomorrow. I don't know.
I hope he does. I think you wouldn't put in a goalie who just started one game, take him out when he only had 2 goals allowed. And
and only 2 goals and some great saves. He won 3-2. Think about those saves in the last 10 minutes of the game where they're just trying to tie it up. And it just felt like, man,
they're going to get one in there. That's kind of what I felt like.
I was sort of feeling like they're going to pull the goalie and then they're going to tie it up and then somebody is going to go crazy. Well, yeah, they pulled the goalie, but they didn't score on it. So I was just looking at the clock. I just that game was just so nerve-wracking and emotional, and the penalties, it was just penalty after penalty after penalty, and such ticky-tack penalties where I'm not even sure who the guy from Montreal is, but Tage Thompson taps him on the lower back, just little taps him, he goes diving, and they don't call embellishment on that. That was absolutely BS. You know what BS stands for? Bad story.
Bad stuff.
Or bad stuff. That's right.
Rubbish.
And then Arbor Jackeye, who played 3 minutes. Thanks, Paul, for sharing that with me on the thread. That's why I know he only played 3 minutes. But Paul doesn't. The Paul who I'm talking about.
Paul Hamilton?
No, not Paul Hamilton. Paul from the thread. He doesn't even listen to podcasts. No. So he's not going to listen to this. I told him to come on.
He's not part of the 250 club?
I told him to come on, and because he's a good sport debater. He's like, no, I don't like podcasts and I don't listen to podcasts. I said, that's fine. You don't have to like podcasts. You don't have to listen to podcasts. You just have to argue your point.
All right. Let's stop here.
All right. So what were we talking about?
Talking about Tage Thompson dive. But before we do that, we're going to...
Not the Tage Thompson dive, the guy who dove.
I have the goal. I have the Tage Thompson fluke goal. I just want to play it to you only. So we got the goal right here.
Okay.
So he's coming up the ice, right? Right when he Oh, how do I do this? So I just want to go back.
So this goes down as a power play goal. Yeah, this was during. This is when.
So he pulls back about halfway between the blue and the middle line. So he's about halfway there. He's still on the circle for the Canadiens.
Yeah, this Canadian logo.
It hits the wall. Mm-hmm. Rebounds around. Dobis doesn't know where it is. He's looking towards the direction. And then
he's expected to come around behind him.
And then about 2 seconds later, he just goes back. The puck is right in the crease, I think. No, the puck is right there. Yeah, it's right in the crease, and it just enters in. It's a goal.
So he takes it from just about the halfway line, in between the halfway and the blue line. He releases. He chucks it in the corner, and it hits the Zamboni entrance where there's a tiny little crack, and it goes straight to the goalie's back of his leg and in. And when it happened, I saw the puck. You could see the puck, but I thought it was on the outside of the net. because it's like I kind of thought like, boom, how did it end up there? And then you see hands go up in the air, like, oh no, that's in. That was awesome. I was like, all right, we'll take it. Fluky goal, but whatever. We should have had. If you want to go back in the first period, that goal that Jack Quinn had, that they reviewed it for 9 minutes. He makes the save. I don't understand how you can call goaltender interference if the guy is fully making the save. And at first they thought, it wasn't even a goal. And then they're going to say, oh, no, it was a goal, but it was interference. That was so dumb to do that, to say he wasn't even interfered with. His own guy was the one who was putting all the pressure on.
But I have a little debate.
That was annoying.
I have a little debate here. Now, during the game, when the Sabres scored.
But we still
when the
won.
Sabres scored, and every time they scored, the light for their net would not go on.
Yeah, I know.
That is against the rules. But you can just say, oh, it's not malfunctioning. It went on for Montreal. And when they switched sides, when they scored in the second period, it was in theirs. So, honestly, it's not allowed according to USA Hockey. But you could say, oh,
is there an NHL rule for that?
Yeah. You could say.
Can you cite the rule? Is it like 23.7-9?
Let me check it. It's Rule 109.
Okay, Rule 109.
So,
you must put that light on when they score. And is there a rule, while we're on rules, for Montreal, how long you're allowed to hold the foghorn for when they score? It seems like they add like 2 or 3 more seconds than everyone else. Gosh, that's annoying.
But here's the thing. You could say, oh, it was human error. That can't be human error.
Yeah, I guess.
Because the human has to mess up 3 different times on different sides. And in a modern NHL arena, the function of illuminating red light is performed by a video goal judge located in the arena, who signals the goal when referee points to the net.
All right, let's talk about the game though. Let's go back to the game. So when that reviewed a goal, it could have been, or it should have been, our second goal. I don't understand how that was interference. I don't agree with that. I think it should have been 2-0, and then we would have had a power play.
Yeah.
And then we could have scored on that. We could have made it 3-0 or not, because the power play is not that
could have
potent.
had a shorthanded, who knows. But
yeah.
I honestly thought that it was going to be a goal. I can actually pull it up real quick.
But then no, don't worry. And then the Thompson goal, gave us was a momentum shift. And like for people who don't pay attention to momentum and say like it's not real, it doesn't exist because you can't explain it.
Yeah.
You can't explain it because it's not tangible. It's not a tangible thing. It's something you have to feel. It's a feeling.
You can't just say like, oh, they don't have any momentum. You don't know.
Well, no. Some people think it doesn't exist. Like there's no such thing.
That's weird.
Yeah, like Mike Schopp was saying that today. He's like, oh, the reason why they can't explain it because it doesn't exist. No, it's just hard to explain an intangible thing like momentum. And if you've been on a team before and you've been through experiences, you will have gone through momentum shifts in games. I know I played lacrosse and we were down 11-0 at halftime.
11-0,
and we came back and we scored it. We tied it 11-11 with like a second left in the game.
Yeah,
and we had so much.
Is there overtime?
We went into overtime. It was sudden death overtime. No, sudden death overtime. So we felt that we were going to win that game because we had just like strung off
11 straight.
Yeah, 11 straight. Well, it might have been we were down 11 goals. It wasn't 11-0. We were down 11 goals. So that's what it was.
Okay. Man, you gotta get your facts.
And then
right.
we tied it up with the last second. And then, like I said, I was just thinking, man, all we need is possession. And as soon as we had possession, we scored and won. And it was an amazing feeling I'll never forget. But no, seriously, momentum is a real thing in sports, in hockey, in all sports. And if you don't believe in it, you probably just haven't experienced it before. I don't know.
Okay, now we're gonna have our guest speaker come on.
Oh, okay. Wait, you're calling in? Oh, I guess you are. How do you know she's gonna be ready?
Soldier, get ready.
Make sure you say, you're live on the air.
Yeah.
So you should have told her to call you.
Nah, I want to.
Do. Still ringing?
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Are you good?
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Welcome to the Argue Point podcast, episode 22.
Yeah. Lucky number. Right, Mason?
Yeah. So, we got 3 questions to ask you, then we'll do some more.
All right. I hope I did my...
Yeah, so number 1, will Keon Coleman stay on the team once the first game, the opening lineup starts? What do you think?
Do think he will. From everything I've seen, it all looks
She's
like he's going
Cutting in and
to
out.
team, and they're going to utilize him.
Maybe, you're cutting in and out. We're not totally hearing everything you're saying. Can you take it off video?
Sure.
Oh, hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, well, number 1, research. I probably can give you a little bit more.
Should use the cord. Not working good. Go ahead. No, just roll
Do
with
you
that.
think I
Just
should
roll
give
with
you
it.
some more information? Well, from what I see is that they were really pulling for him. It's going to be his 3rd season. Hoping he's going to do good. This is going to be his do or die season, I think.
I like that. Yeah, so I agree with that. I think it's either they trade him early or they wait for him to have a decent season or not. It could be a gamble. They're probably going to trade him most likely, you know?
Oh, I'm for him though, but
Yeah.
that's what they're this bringing Skylar Belling. If he does better, Coleman's going to. But
Yeah.
they're really pulling for him.
So Skylar Bell, he's a 7th round draft pick.
It's not 7th round. What do you mean? You're the 4th
Fifth?
rounder.
4th?
I
4th
think,
rounder.
yeah, 4th.
Okay. I don't know if I'll
Does that
compare
make it-
Skylar Bell to the same kind of role as Ken Coleman, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm not pulling for Ken Coleman. I hope they ship him out and we never see him again.
Why? For what?
Because he's not mature enough to be on this team, and he's never going to play to his potential, ever. He's got a high ceiling, he's got talent, but he'll never get there.
Okay.
All right, okay. I see what you're hoping when they bring Bell in, they'll kind of make him wake up a little bit.
That could happen, yeah. But number 2,
Yeah.
is Bills week 2 worse than Thursday Night Football, or do you think it makes it better?
I kind of a little bit better. I think people will be more focused on a Thursday night game than on a Sunday game.
Well, that's definitely true. It's the only game that, it's the only game, so they own the night. That's definitely true.
Yeah.
And it's early. The weather will be nice.
Yes.
It's just the only downside is a lot of times Thursday night games are like poor quality games. But it's early, and we get, everyone has to do one, so getting that out of the way early in the season is also a good thing.
I kind of agree with that too. Although I do like games, it kind of gives you something to look for, something to really focus.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to see.
Okay.
Next question.
Do you think the Sabres are due for a cup run, either this year or the following?
Boy, I kind of think this year is looking very. It's still iffy back. Kind of a lot like the Bills' whole run, but I'm kind of they're going to clinch it. I really.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're already on a cup run, aren't they?
Yeah.
I can't agree on that one.
What do you
Here's the
mean?
thing.
Oh,
They're in the second round. They're tied up in the series in the second round.
But
That's
if you can't beat Montreal, I don't think that it's gonna be I'm not gonna say they won't be able to do it, but it's gonna be way difficult playing teams like Carolina and Avalanche and
well, every round's got its own.
Vegas.
Every round will be different.
Canadiens are definitely a season, but I don't know. The Sabres are holding their own.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Tomorrow night's going to be awesome. Mason,
Yeah,
I won tickets to the game up in a suite. I'm going to be taking Mason, and we are so excited. Can't
It'd be
wait.
so great. Oh my gosh. That's going to be fantastic. How did you win the
Oh, the company I work for raffles them off. They have like a big wheel that they spin, and
Whoa.
my name was picked this week, or for this game.
Perfect? I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, I can't
I'm
wait.
happy for you.
Really hope that
Why
they
not?
can go up 3-2 in the series in that game, and
Oh,
it should be a good, memorable game. Good
Okay.
experience.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for thank you for calling in. Maybe next time we'll find a more stable way of
A
calling
stable
in.
connection. Yeah, this was you're a little in and out. We'll get that
Still?
fixed for next time. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Nope.
All right.
No problem.
See you maybe.
All right, thanks for calling.
See you later.
All right. You're welcome. Take care. Go Sabres.
Go Sabres.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, I think
That was the G
what I
sharing.
was saying was the Roku cord.
the
Plug
Roadcaster?
into the iPhone.
The Roadcaster.
Oh yeah, Roadcaster. I meant to say Rode. The Rode cord. That's the connection that makes the solid connection that we
Yeah.
had Luke call in.
You know, I would argue.
When Luke
but-
called in, it was in there,
I would argue, but I don't. I think you're
but
right.
you lost the argument. Yeah, because she was cutting out.
Okay, you're not gonna. Okay, now we're gonna go on to the Buffalo New York
What
Knicks.
time we at? We had 26 minutes.
We'll fit in a game here too. Do a couple questions on that. Okay, we're gonna do this one a little faster. Not going every single. We're not gonna talk about every single key thing. I'll talk about a couple, maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But the key thing is we blew out Sixers 144-114. We had this game on Mother's Day, I believe it was, and we just turned it off at third quarter. It was just not even.
Yeah, they were winning.
Yeah. Now a 4-0 sweep Philadelphia. This is the same team took the number 2 seed, the favorites to win the conference. Our conference took them to a game 7 and beat them. Then go. I think they had all the energy drained out of them after like brutal series versus Boston. But
Yeah, like 2 years ago, the Knicks, they looked like a special team.
now they're like ready.
Last year, they
look good, but they didn't look great.
well, they went to the conference finals last year.
Yeah, you're right. This year we're going back to it. We're going to the if we
Yeah,
beat
we are going back to it.
either Detroit or Cleveland, we're going to the NBA finals. The
Yeah.
young group, but
That would be awesome. I mean,
That-
they've got the, like from the outside perspective, and like I've said, I'm not Mr. NBA man. I've been a lifelong fan. I've been following the Knicks since 2023, and the Knicks are very balanced. It's not just Brunson and Cat. They've, even Robinson, and Robinson's a bench player. They got some really big guys. OG Anunoby, McBride. These guys are all real well-respected veterans in the league. And then in Hart, still my favorite player. He did you hear he questioned, if Philly's a true sports town?
really,
Yeah.
that's really yeah. But,
Philly's a sports town, but
They're a sports town.
he's baiting them a little bit there.
He's like, you see, I saw a reporter do the 76ers thing, and they were in the arena, and then every, 2 seconds, a new Knicks fan would come in, and then they would all, she was, not even in the frame anymore, because they were all just, go Knicks, but I think the Knicks might have the best fan in the NBA.
Is OG, is he, I know he was out at game 4, right?
I think he's healthy. I mean, think about it. They're going to have at least
A lot of time, yeah.
right now, so they're going to have at least a 2-game rest for that series. So they're probably going to have about a 5-6 game rest, 5-6 days at least. Who knows if it goes game 7, be even more. But I think the Knicks are going to, I think they're ready. I think the team has well rested. Nice that we sweeped them, not bad.
Swept them. We won game 4 by 30 points.
Yeah. So, 144 playoff point, that's a lot, but Knicks tied the NBA playoff record with 18 first half threes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
already talked about. Now, we did do a lot of stuff. We were talking about, like, everything and who's dangerous, but I really just want to talk about two things.
The Cavs and the Pistons.
Now, we beat them in 2023 in the playoffs 4-1. But in 2023...
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
We had R.J. Barrett on our team. He was traded.
What round was that?
That was
the first round?
First round.
Yeah, I remember
We
that.
didn't have nearly...
That was the first year I became a Knicks fan.
That was like, it was not nearly as, we weren't near as good. We were the 5 seed.
Mitchell's averaging 39 points over the last 2 games. Did you see that?
No.
That's a lot.
Him and
That's
James
insane.
Harden would be crazy.
The beard.
Yeah, and D Wade.
The beard is always
So funny. He's a horrible
disappointing.
player.
He's like Embiid. He's got a ton of talent, and then just doesn't try like Embiid. You know, he's like
James Harden playoff records 95-88.
I can't believe Embiid didn't play that game too.
Through his
of the
entire
series.
17-year career, James Harden, he's never missed the playoffs, not won a championship. Moving towards the record for most playoff games played without a title. He's reached NBA Finals once in 2012 and the Western Conference Final multiple times. So, honestly, who would you rather have right now? Just Cavs, Pistons.
Well, you know,
On his face,
kind of, you know, the kind of
easier.
with the kind of fan that I am, I really don't know anything about the Pistons. I don't really know anything about them. I know a little bit about the Cleveland team. I know nothing about Pistons. So, I don't know. I would just say which team is going to be more exciting. Which team do you think would be easier? At first it would look like Cleveland was gonna easily lose, 4-1 or 4-0 to Detroit, but now it's not so much.
Yeah, but the thing is, even if we play Detroit, they went to a Game 7 versus an 8 seed, a playing team, a team that was trying to tank.
Yeah,
earlier,
Orlando.
and they accidentally stumbled their way into the playoffs.
Okay, yeah, really.
So honestly, like, I would.
You'd rather play You'd rather play Detroit.
I really think this is like Sabres, but I think I'd rather play Detroit. Okay, if we find a way to lock up Kate Cunningham, I think the series could be a 4-1, 4-2.
If we could
But-
shut them down, you mean?
Moving on to a fun little game. This is gonna be easy game.
We're moving off of the Cavs Pistons. Who would you
Moving
ever play?
Yep.
All right.
Now I have a bunch of true or false questions on here, and I
Do
actually
you?
put them into the Google Doc thing, the podcast thing here, and a bunch of questions. They're Knicks questions, Sabres questions. I ask you the Knicks questions. You ask me Knicks questions. I ask Sabres questions. So, it's on the online thing. Numero uno. Ready?
Sure.
The Buffalo Sabres had a 90-point season in 2015. True or false?
They had one this year.
Since 2015. True or false?
Wait, say the question again.
The Buffalo Sabres had a 90-point season since 2015. True or false?
Since 2015, so that means from 2026 to 2015?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had one this year.
So you're
So
saying
it's
true?
definitely true.
Scroll on that. Trying to look. When you're licking your finger, not moving the page. It's all the way down.
I was using the paper.
All the way. Keep going. You're at 5. 8, 9. No, 8. Stuck at 8. Keep going. You see it.
I don't know why you increased the font on this.
I didn't actually. That was you.
No, I didn't.
Scroll down. Keep going. You're almost there. So close. Oh, you're stuck. There we go. I didn't include the answers.
Do you know the answers?
No.
Well, then what's the
I don't
point
know
of
the
doing
answers.
this?
I don't know the answers. Well, I know the answers, but I won't look at them, and then I'll look at them. Okay, we'll just do you. Raz Padalini has already recorded a 70-point season in his career.
That would be true. He did that this year.
The Buffalo Sabres. True. Let's do some. Let's mix it up. Let's do some Knicks here. Jalen Brunson scored 50
Can
points.
you put the music on, background music? Okay, all right.
Now,
Hit me with your next question,
the
Mason.
Knicks have had multiple All-Stars the same season in the last 5 years.
True. The first three have all been true.
The Buffalo Sabres made Stanley Cup final more recently than the Knicks have made the NBA Finals.
False.
The Knicks have had a player finish top 5 MVP voting in the last 10 years. 10. That's 10.
The Knicks have had
One
the
century.
top three. Wait, what was the
Top
question again?
5 in MVP voting in the last 10 years.
Like once?
In the last 10 years.
Yeah, that's true. Brunson.
No, that's incorrect.
Okay.
The Sabres had a player score
Wait, didn't Brunson win the MVP?
Nope. The Sabres have had a player score 50 goals in the season the last 20 years.
I'm going to say false. They have not.
Correct. Now let's do a couple more. Let's do like 2 or 3.
Okay.
The Buffalo Sabres have finished with the worst record in the NHL at least once since 2014.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. More than once. I think
Two
maybe
up.
5 times or more.
Okay, we do one more. Do I already do this one? Knicks have had multiple All-Stars the same seasons in the last 5 years. Did I do that one? No.
The Knicks have had what? What's the question?
multiple All-Stars in the same season within the last 5 years. All-Stars are like,
Oh, yeah.
All-Star
Yeah,
team.
that's happened. Yeah, Cat and Brunson probably.
Sorry. It's correct.
All right. Sweet.
I'm duking them out. Okay.
All right. Are we going to talk about Mike Dana?
Mike Dana?
Do you have the stats? Because when you show me a stat and you say, okay, 1 year he had, 3.5 sacks. The next year he had 1, but I don't know how many games he played. So these stats can be skewed if you don't know how many games they played. Now, if you say, well, he played just as many games, then I'm like, oh yeah, then he went down.
He hasn't missed a single game.
So how many games did he play in 25?
All 17.
You sure?
I think so. I mean, he had.
Why do you
he's at
think so? Not know? Are you
87
looking at his
Listen to me.
stats?
He's at 87 games played and 49 starts.
Yeah, but that doesn't tell me how many he played last year.
Okay. Okay, 2025 he had 15. Okay,
2025 he had 15. Okay.
15. And then in 2024 he had 13.
Okay. now we're
2023
getting
he had
somewhere.
16. 2022 he had 13. 2021 he had 17. And 2020 he had 13.
So his production definitely went down. He played 13 games last season. No, 15, you said. Yeah, 15. And 13 prior. So I wonder why he had such a down year last year then. But anyways, in 23 he had 32 combined tackles, 18 assists, 6.5 sacks. That's a lot. Yeah, that was a good year for them. And then
5th round pick.
5th round.
28 years old, signed to a 1-year deal as defensive end. But so they can move him anywhere. So
Yeah. What do you? He spent 6 seasons with the Chiefs. What do you think about him? Definitely got Super Bowl experience.
Well, when I think about this guy, and he has 2 Super Bowls. I think he's probably gonna be more of a depth veteran player that they have. I don't think he's gonna have like 12 sacks. I don't think he's gonna have a breakout year.
You think he'll be more rotational?
I think he's
Done a
probably
bigger
gonna be like
role?
that. But
Yeah,
on
okay.
another note, we also got a Penn State player. I just noticed. Get off track here, but what do you think? What do you think his role is going to be in the entire 2026, 2027 NFL season?
Yeah, I kind of think I agree with you. More depth, more rotational, rather than having a big role on this offensive line.
Okay. So let's see here. Next up, have
How much? Let me ask you this question: how much do you think the Bills' pass rush can improve this season?
I think it's gonna improve phenomenally. T.J. Parker, they got T.J. Parker, they got Zane Durant, they even got this guy.
Mike Dana?
Yeah.
Is that what you were thinking? Or
Yeah,
were you thinking
Mike
of someone
Dana.
else?
So I'm looking at the roster right now. Taking a look at. So we have. I mean, we have a decent amount of. Do we have a lot of depth?
Mm-hmm.
And we have. Dang, this thing is so old. Holy cow!
He started. So you said he played 15 games, but which is good. And it says he started 14 games in 2025. Starting for 14 games last year, that's a big deal. So that kind of shows he's not on the decline. But look at some of the other stats. You can certainly be concerning.
End, we have Mike Dana, Cade Denhoff, rookie, Michael Hoyt, Landon Jansen, Andre Jones, Tommy King Bestow, probably a different way to say that, Dwayne Carter, Zane Durant, Cody Huseman, Thian Logue, Pajagan Madis, Ed Oliver, TJ Sanders, Deion Parker, and then TJ Parker. I don't know where he's not on the list, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I think I think it's gonna be way better than we realize. If Ed Oliver is healthy, TJ Parker isn't a bust.
Ed Oliver is never healthy for a full season.
If he's healthy for a full season, he's great.
Yeah, well,
He's
yeah.
number 9 overall
100%.
pick.
100%. No, he is.
Aye.
But he's never healthy for a whole season. But, all right.
PGA. You want to do Burr predictions?
Yeah, let me just run down a few things about the PGA
We're just gonna do
Championship.
predictions.
Let me just run down a few things about the PGA Championship. We're only at 40 minutes, right? 42 minutes, and then we'll do our predictions. Because it starts tomorrow, and I'm really excited. It's in Philadelphia. Remember when we went to Oak Hill in 23?
No, we never went there.
Yes, we did.
No, we went to Hill Oak.
In Rochester. And for the price of the tickets, it was free food. Remember, you can go in and out, just eat cheeseburgers all day. Yeah, you had hot dogs. Well, they're doing that again at the PGA Championship. It must be the only major that does it like that. Well, I mean, we've been to the U.S. Open. They didn't do it like that.
Well,
I know the Masters is different.
It's probably because it's maybe the purse is bigger. I don't know.
No, it's just whoever runs it. That's how they run it. But anyways, I guess prices right now are actually being sold on StubHub below face value.
Really?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cheaper than when they were selling them.
Here.
We're talking about tickets.
It's
Tickets.
the people for the World Cup. What they're doing, they're buying tickets and then selling them for a ton of money.
Yeah.
But people are doing this not buying tickets. So there's gonna be people who are down millions of dollars because they bought all the tickets and have no one to sell to.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I root for them. Hopefully they don't make any money.
Yeah. Scotty Scheffler is the defending champion of the PGA. Rory McIlroy is looking for major title number 7. DeChambeau under pressure after missing the cut at the Masters. John Rahm trying to quit LIV. Golf future rumors. Yeah, LIV is toast. Even if they do get a sponsor, they're still toast. It was a dumb idea to begin with a shotgun starts and no cuts.
Hey-o.
And only 3 rounds of golf. But
3 rounds.
Yeah, they only play 54 holes, but now they play 72. Yeah. Even though LIV stands for 54. But anyways, Cam Young, he can play with the best of them. He's just in the past 6 months or so just emerged as just a powerhouse.
Call it LXXII at that point.
And I love his backswing where he pauses at the top. Matt Fitzpatrick, he's playing some of the best golf of his career. So he's definitely someone that, Cam Young, Matt Fitzpatrick, obviously the other guys I mentioned, Scheffler, McIlroy, those guys can easily win this. Jordan Spieth chasing the career Grand Slam again. He's not going to get that this week. I wish Jordan Spieth all the best. One of my favorite players, but right now I don't think his game is where it needs to be at to win a major. Brooks Koepka, looking for his 4th. He's not going to be there. He's still getting used to the re-emerging from the PGA. Tommy Fleetwood, not playing bad, but also not really contending a whole lot this year. There's a lot of debate of whether LIV players can still dominate in majors. Well, they didn't do too well at the Masters, and there's not going to be a LIV anymore. And yeah, the LIV players can dominate majors if they play on the DP World Tour, because you got to play 4 rounds of golf with cuts to get your game to where it needs to be to contend in majors, in my opinion. Obviously, DeChambeau is a little bit of a different guy. He does things differently. He does everything differently, and he can compete at a high level while not even golfing. He just practice. He doesn't even golf.
Really? Who?
DeChambeau.
Oh.
He does his YouTube thing, and that's golfing, and he says that like doing the shows of breaking 50 prepares him for majors, and he says he's not a gambler. He says a lot of golfers are gamblers, so that's why they go out and to make things interesting and less boring, they gamble. He doesn't gamble, so he doesn't even golf. He says he'll go out and he'll play 6 holes just to make sure that everything is, nothing is like really off with his game, and then he goes out to a major and he competes. He's a different guy. He's got a really great disciplined way to prepare, and he's really exciting. So so that's kind of some of the storylines. Those are the storylines surrounding
Okay,
the
you
PGA
have the
Championship.
number 1 overall pick. I actually have a notepad, so I'll be able to write down all your picks.
Okay.
You are on the clock.
Okay, where are we starting with? Favorites?
Favorite. You go
Okay.
favorite. I do favorite.
All right. So what we did, we split the field into thirds, and we're picking favorites. So it goes starts with Scotty Scheffler at just over 4.5 to 1.
We're doing snake. That's what we're doing here. We're doing snake rules.
What does that mean?
You go first, and then I do. So you do favorite, then I'll do favorite middle, then you do middle long shot, then you do long shot.
Okay.
It's a snake order.
All right. Okay. I am going to pick. You know who I'm going to pick?
Who?
I'm going to pick. I always want to pick is Justin Rose, but you know what?
He's so down.
But I really want to. I want to take Cameron Young because he's such a bomber. This course is going to play to the bombing. There's not that much trees. If you could bomb it 300 plus, which Cameron Young can, then the rest of the work is going to be on the greens. The greens are fast, but the fairways are, from what I understand, the fairways are not going to be hard to find. So I'm going to go with a bomber, and I'm going to go with Cameron Young. He's more than just a bomber, by the way, but yeah, he can hit it 300 plus.
I think that's a pretty good. I think I can't argue with that one. That's a good one.
John Rahm at number 4 at 12 to 1 is laughable. He's not coming anywhere near that. I'm not saying he might not contend after the first or second day, but he's not gonna get top 10.
I was gonna pick him, but I decided against it.
Did I talk you out of it? I'm sorry.
No, well, I just forgot that you just talking about bombing. I realized John Rahm, he's good at it, but there's someone always ahead of him.
Who's
Rory
that?
McIlroy.
Oh yeah, Rory is always ahead of him. One step ahead.
So you took Young.
It's so crazy how those guys could have got out when Brooks did. They offered him, like, all right, you have 1 month. We know what's going on. You should take this deal. And they're like, oh, I never even considered it.
Okay, now I go next. I'm on the clock again for the middle third sleepers.
Okay.
Take a look.
The top of that list is Matt McCarty, and he contended after day 2, I think, of last week's The Truest.
I'm taking Dustin Johnson.
Really?
Yep.
DJ.
You know why?
Why?
He has a record. He has a 475-yard hit before, and you said they can bomb, so I picked the guy who can bomb.
Oh, yeah. You know who Justin Johnson's wife is?
No.
Paulina Gretzky.
Gretzky, wait, who?
Paulina Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky's daughter. Okay, and he's a live golfer, too. So for my middle field, can I get the clock ticking?
Oh, yeah.
For my middle field, let's see some of the names. I'm just going to go through a few of the names. Wyndham Clark, Daniel Berger. I would never pick him, ever.
Burger.
He's not nice to kids who want to sign. He's not nice to kids who want their autograph on practice days. Okay, we got Thagala. We got Brian Harmon. A lot of good guys in this section. Max Homa at 30-1. But but one guy kind of sticks out for me personally, and that is Nick Taylor.
Nick Taylor.
Yeah.
Him last week too.
Yeah, I think you did. He's 25-1 here.
Okay, so N Taylor. Now you go again.
Okay, my long shot.
Question: did you put Alex Fitzpatrick on the list, or is he like?
He's on here.
I haven't seen him once.
He's a long shot. I think.
He's 42. He's a
favorite.
Favorite, yeah.
Oh, okay. He's been doing phenomenal. Okay. Anyways, long shots.
I'm gonna pick the guy I actually know.
Yeah, from the long shot.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, I'm on the clock. Let's hear that noise. I'm gonna go with someone who I think he won. I think he's a major winner. What? Billy Horschel. Can you check to see if Billy Horschel? I think he won the U.S. Open once. Can you check that?
I can't. I'm on the block.
Okay, I'll look it up while you're.
You have a computer right in front of you.
All right.
Okay. I haven't been looking at this guy much, but I'm gonna go Steven Yeager.
Steven Yeager. All right. No,
Okay.
Billy Horschel has not won a major.
Okay, that will wrap us up. I just want to thank everyone.
He came in T2 in 2024.
Everyone, but Sabres predictions real quick.
Oh man, Game 5. We're gonna be there. We're gonna be up in the suites. I won tickets, like I mentioned.
Seconds.
15 seconds, and
9, 8.
let's go the same score, 3-2. 3-2 Buffalo. We're gonna grind it out. It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait.
Okay, now I'm gonna go a bit farther. I'm gonna go 4-2.
Okay.
Now I just want to thank you guys all for watching. Like, subscribe,
Listening.
follow. We'll go next episode. I'll be producing again.
Yep.
Someone decided to do the entire thing. But see you all next time.
All right. See you next time.